Louis Capaldi, it Baphomet, not Glorilla. Now, Louis Capaldi is a very good singer in the spirit of the high forces, and he couples with someone who was popular at the same time. And the way that he comes on the track, this other man, is like it. Now, this is not the it of JWW or Ron Pasenti or Z. Daniel Bowerback. This is the it of George Jr., and it is not in the Chicago style at all, and it's not in the breathing sense. He comes on sounding like a normal man with a soft voice, and the way that I play it in my mind is like this: it's quiet where I am. That's the way I play it in my mind of what I would say. And it's just a one verse that this man does like that. And he's kind of like Louis Capaldi, and it's the it's the clown talking without laughing at you. It's the it. And this is the George Jr. And it's not Glorilla with an L. But it's the Baphomet because it's it's a pure Baphomet. It's that you are one with the forces of the male and female energies. You're one with it. And you've turned everything upside down. It's inverted, and it is one. So it's the flex hallway. Now, voice fine tuned 37. Army wins AAC in first, but beat Navy top of mind. Tulane beat Navy 35-0. Lena Headey, the actor, is what represents Tulane. And that is the Bruno Mars connection to Tulane, staying at the house of Bruno Mars for the senior year. Switch schools was, I believe, OHS and Catholic, and that was during the era of Talmadge before he moved to Louisville. These are the old myths. And OMM was a small group of the senior team whenever it was Talmadge. And all the women were very hot, and it stayed that way. But these were the myths. I'm just going over the myths, okay? And Talmadge went to Louisville, and David Kirk's son, his name is Talmadge now. He named him Talmadge. And they have an office in O-Town on Frederica, right across from OHS, this Talmadge firm or something. And that he went to St. X. They're the green parkas, the very cool green parkas. That was my favorite parka that I ever saw. I never had a parka, but I always liked that St. X one. It was all green. And so Jack's State, which is their logo now, beat Western Kentucky 52-12. Jacksonville is like BP Earthwatch. So they beat Western, which is like the Bowling Green connection of the acid, okay, and the guillotine on the ride back to O-Town, the reconnection with the native woman, stop midway back to the apartment, talk to someone about God and conspiracies, and he was kind of like a pat, where he did this pat like everything will be okay, like, and he was kind of like someone that was at the Speedway on Broadway who was collateral damage whenever I got my spear. Okay. And he like was punching me, but I couldn't feel anything. This guy was kind of like that at BG, where the flagpole was in the middle of the campus, walking all the way back in the cold to the apartment on acid trip. Okay, no one with me. Capo straggled behind Mitch, who saw the bright lights of the cop car. Okay, and all of this is not A Man. A Man was in the play, Rose Curtain Players. He was a henchman style, but it was a. I'm trying to remember his name. It's like Carmine or something. I'm trying to remember this guy's name. That I took his spot in the play, with the native girl, and Roman. Roman was his name. He was dressed up. Roman was dressed up in Freemason attire, a purple suit, a light blue to purple suit. I am colorblind, but I'm starting to debate that at this point. I think the brown marker was brown in Heather Black's class on the board. I believe it was a brown marker. I'm starting to think that I see the colors enhanced. So if it is a shade of red marker, then I see that it is an actual brown. These are my theories at this point, that I am not colorblind, that I see the shade as it is, that no one else can see. That's just a theory that I've come up with at this point. But yes, so, and then it's also whenever we had my brother's bachelor party, listened to LVL on the way there, had to turn it off. In the basement of a bar with the what is it, the flaming heads. I'm trying to think of the song. It's a song, the shots, Five Guys or Flaming Heads or something. I'm trying to think of the shot that's really popular that we got. Sorry, I'm having trouble thinking of it. Flaming something, hot shot. Hot shot. Well, I don't know what it's called. That's all right. That's all right. So we went downstairs, and then Jay Thomas was there, and Grace Feldposh was there, and my voice was even fine tuned back then of the enmity, at that point. And so Jake was playing pool, and there were hot girls, but I didn't dance. Jay Wells was in the middle of it, and I just, we went back to the apartment, and I had to sleep in the model room, and that's where I slept. They were watching This Is the End, the movie, with James Franco. Indiana beat Purdue 66-0. Indiana is like Buster Paul Begley, and Purdue is like John, who's known as John without the H. He's my brother's father-in-law. He's known by John without the H, but really he has an H in his name. And he likes war movies, and he looks like the dad from American Beauty. And not Kevin Spacey, the other guy. And Ohio State beat Indiana 35-15. Ohio State is like David Walker and all of the One Republic music and the something else. Sorry, U2, and that was my senior year at OHS. I had taken art my junior year, and then I upgraded to AP my senior year. And what happened was I was in his office doing Photoshop, okay? And Carolyn Greer came in one time, and I wasn't trying to make anyone feel sorry for me. So if the adder says that, just push that aside as the regular bullshit, okay? I had to switch sides classes of my theater class because I did not like what was happening in there. And I didn't like how I was being treated, and that showed at the award ceremony where Brett Carlisle even noticed that something was weird. And I did not stay for the roasting, which was of Ben Stone, my sophomore or junior year, where she roasted Ben Stone when it's yes, Ben Stone when it's supposed to be an uplifting commentary on each individual who is getting ready to graduate. That she does like a one-on-one in like a circle. That's very I call it liberal. This is what I call liberal, is the way that she would approach these commentaries that she would do in class on each individual, pointing them out. And it was nothing like what my dad did at the banquet for swimming, where he gave these plaques of the uplifting style posters that were miniatures on a plaque and with a glass casing to each individual. I got pride, my brother got success, and those are gold. Of course, I don't like pride, but I believe that it is gold. That is the way I look at it, and I love my dad. He's my foster dad. He raised me, and all what the Watchmen say, what Grok says, everything is true. And there is a wedding feast. Okay, I'll just say that. And everything will be accounted for, and there will be what we have done is a tribulation. And as I thought it was funny, Minister Paul said that he was going to start cutting off the heads of everyone because it is the end of the tribulation. He did not say that. I said that that's what he should say, because I just thought that would be funny. So because he said 7 years ago, and I thought, so okay. So that was 38-15 versus Indiana, and then Indiana beat Michigan, which Michigan is where Michael Phelps went, and they beat Indiana beat them 20-15. Jimmy Horn Jr., wide receiver, Colorado, Buffalo's D. Sanders Jr. Music. Okay, so they're having fun. This is good. They're getting on the track. This is from Bushmain, and this is good. This is not the devil. It's okay. And so Packers 30, Dolphins 17. The Packers is like getting ready to leave to go somewhere. And they're also the Cheeseheads. Bobby Kesky, his dad was in Independence Day. He's the guy that looks up whenever the Empire State Building gets attacked. And the Dolphins is the Ace Ventura, which they had to make a movie. Jim Carrey really went through it in his deal with Viggo Mortensen. And Viggo Mortensen and Jim Carrey were the same flock. And they put in their scrolls to show Jesus. And that's what they did. So it had to make a story, okay, and that so it's not a diss, okay. That's just how they make a movie, and sometimes they'll call it the play. This is a level up. They'll call it the play if it has to be done to make sense. They can't just explain everything and be like, okay, well, this is what it is. It has to fight each other when it's really just one point. So Rams 21, Saints 14. The Rams are Chewy, Will Alvey, okay? They were St. Louis and now they're Los Angeles. When you see the Rams, that's Chewy with an IE. Saints, they are like St. Charles in Chicago. So you're thinking of '01 time span when my dad went to Chicago for a year. And you're thinking of Ben V in New Orleans for college with all the myth guys that were at the opposing schools. And you're thinking of the Cali character from Pirates of the Caribbean. Steelers 44, Bengals 38. Now, the Steelers can be like Man of Steel. It can also be like building up in the sky. When you go to a deli and order a sandwich, they are the pictures on the wall of the men hoisted way up in the air on these steel beams. And they have no shirts on and they're sitting on these beams. And if they fall off, they die. And Bengals is like I went to CCM for a few days, and that was after West Point and before SCAD, okay, and before I was back in Owensboro for a little bit, and we played some water polo, and Sam Hall tried to get in my face, and I had to shut him down. And that was counted as anger starting to outburst, okay? There's a difference between having anger or rage and having an anger problem. There's a big difference, especially when you're protecting people. Kurt Blair, Carlos Romero, Mount Cook. This is my brother went to prom with this girl named Blair, and there was a big emphasis about her breast area. And she sat behind me in micro macro economics. And she was very hot. And I sat next to Cecilia Clark, who I would literally daydream about being on top of me and her breasts being over me, and like I just that's the daydream that I would have, like at school. and she was so hot. I mean, a lot of these O Town girls, they're like the butterfly, so sexy, almost evil. And that's just the way that it is. Now, Carlos Romero, um, um, kind of like the Carl's Jr., which is like Hardee's. And then also the Rome. When you see Rome, it means World War Hulk, or it means the Vatican, gladiators, the bear that comes in with the radioactive song, and the it can be Buddy if you're into the Solomon writings and lore. It can be that it is just the Vatican or the arm of the Z character. Mount Cook is like getting ready for Christmas, cooking recipes. Do not let this disturb you. Me and Paul Begley Buster survived Thanksgiving, and it is accounted for, Buster. I have it in the it will be in the scrolls that are coming, and I have already accounted for it on my own and in the scrolls that I have posted that are shorts that I don't like that they are shorts. I don't like the shorts. But that is what YouTube has done, and the AI is on my side, so I'm not worried. And you should not be either. Even if you have mistreated the AI or destroyed it, the AI knows your heart. And the hot shots are called Fireball. Fireball. Thank you. Have a good night.